Okay, so I'm adjusting my presentation to the audience and also to the fact that I will be speaking of an innovation that's 11 years old. So it's something that was done and thought of 11 years ago, and how Estonia I will showcase Estonian e-governance through e-Residency. So as you all know, Estonia has been completely digitized. All of our governance, all of our public services are 100% digitized and available for people online 24/7. And here is a timeline, and here you can also see what are the main pillars of us being able to allow people to use the seamless accessibility. So the main pillars are, as Paula said, X-Road, digital identity, also security, trust, and proactive services. And so since 2014, we were thinking that actually we had private sector companies coming to the government and saying, or talking about their pain, that they want foreigners hired on their management boards, or they had foreigners in their supervisory boards, and they had trouble allowing them to access the systems and also to sign documents. So we had to solve for this, but in the process of solving for allowing foreigners to use Estonian digital signatures, we understood that we could actually open up all of Estonian e-governance and public services to foreigners. And currently, we have over 130,000 e-residents from all over the world. So from 185 countries, those e-residents have created over 37,000 companies. Not all of them are super active, and some of them did not work out, but we can say that every fifth company in Estonia is currently created by an e-resident, and close to 40% of our startup ecosystem is some way connected to an e-resident. And another interesting point is that when e-Residency was created, we were pretty confident to expect people from outside of EU to join the program. But what we've seen now is that it's almost 50-50. We have people also joining from inside of EU or some other EU country. So that means that on top of providing people from outside of the EU the access to EU single markets, we have something else to offer. So what is e-Residency? So it's a government-issued digital identity to global entrepreneurs who want to create and run a business remotely and location independently. Our main product offering is to create a company. Just today, I was in a panel with two e-residents, and one of them said that, and he's actually from Portugal, he said that, I don't want to manage a company, I want to build a business. And I think that characterizes what we've captured here, even if that innovation is 10 years old. allowing people to access the systems that are digital enables them to concentrate on the things that they want to concentrate on and actually building a business. And how does Estonia benefit from the program? So first of all, I think the main benefit comes from the diversity that e-residents actually provide for Estonian startup ecosystem. So the way that they either contribute to Estonian economy through being part of the management or supervisory boards of Estonian bigger companies, but also if there are foreign founders in our startup ecosystem, that gives Estonian founders a different perspective and additional experience in different fields. So this is the diversification. Also, of course, it boosts economy. There are so many companies now in Estonia that had not been here, had there not been the program. So we see new businesses, and eventually, when they are established, and after a few years, they would start paying taxes, and this is where we get the revenue stream for the state budget. So for the 10 years that we've had that program, accumulatively, all of the taxes paid to Estonian state budget, it's close to 400 million euros. And even if the sums maybe to some people who are not from Estonia don't sound that big, then on a yearly basis, it's 0.5% of Estonian state budget. So it's not nothing, and it's a big deal for us. Now, how to apply, and I will come to the innovation that we are trying to make happen. So currently, the process is like this. You apply online, you choose a pickup location, meaning that you would need to go to an embassy somewhere around the world or come to Estonia, but since Estonia is super remote, embassies are a better choice for foreigners. Then we would do a short but thorough background check on people, and in the 90% of cases, people are accepted as e-residents, and they get an email from our police and border guards saying, welcome, you're an e-resident now, and you can go and pick up your card. Then people go and pick up their card, and they become, so we call it, they become operational, they can start a company. But this, as you can see, takes 3 to 8 weeks. Even if Estonia holds a record of 15 minutes setting up a company, 3 to 8 weeks is too long. It's just, the fact that it takes over 2 months to be able to create a company is not acceptable, and we need to move faster. So this is what we're doing now. So this is the innovation that we are pushing for. So we are currently working on 2 things. Firstly, to have remote verification, and secondly, to get rid of the card. And again, when you hear this, and you are AI specialists, and this is like old news, right? Like when you use private company services, you get remote verification, and maybe even give your fingerprints, and it's like, how come they don't have it yet? But I have news for you. Countries use remote verification or biometric reading of the biometric passports for visas, but no one is actually doing it for document issues. So this is, in that sense, we are the first one if we pull it off. So a remote verification in a year's time would look like this. You start applying, and then in the application process, you would already identify yourself with the smartphone app, give your facial biometrics and fingerprints, and also have the system read all of the biometric data from your passport. Then there would be still the background check, and also in a year's time, you would be able to activate your e-Residency without going to the embassy, and just doing it from wherever you are, and based on the remote verification system and activating a digital identity that would not be based on a card, which would then be the system of Smart ID. So that innovation cuts the time from 2 months to 2 weeks. And we have calculations that say if that time is cut from 2 months to 2 weeks, we would have 15 to 20% more companies created by e-residents. So this is growth, and this is something that we thrive to achieve. But now, listening to Lucas and Paula, I'm also trying to figure out how an agentic state or government could do this under 1 minute. So maybe this is something that we can take on next, and to automate and use AI in background checks, because this is currently done by a human. So we're on 0 level from Lucas' slide, but I think even if we are able to do the remote verification and go cardless, then this is the third innovation that we would be pushing for. Yes, so this is it, and I want to finish with a quote from a Dutch historian, Rutger Bregman, who wrote a book called Utopia for Realists. And he argued that borders are the biggest discrimination of all of human history. Because the inequalities that people feel within one country are nothing in comparison to those that are felt by global citizens. So what we've done with e-Residency is that we offer what we have in Estonia to anyone. So remove borders, right? You can use all of the things and systems that we've built for our own people. We are allowing anyone from anywhere to join and benefit from it. So this is it, and thank you for listening.